Joaquin stole the show. That was the cutest moment ever on podcast history.
I really like it.
I loved it. I have a page full of notes again. How about you guys?
I have 2 pages.
I like how we got back to curiosity again. You become irrelevant when you lose your curiosity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And to be motivated by what's around you.
And life and time is fragile.
Yes.
And that's a thing that we all learned extremely well last year.
It's one of that moment when you really realize that you have not the whole time of the world. You have to do what you want to do. You have to reach your goals. You have to be curious and go on and on and on learning and doing things, because you don't know what could happen the day after.
Make your goals and decisions early and wisely.
Because they're going to have a big effect on you in the future.
Yes, like ripples,
Yeah.
waves, right?
I really loved when he talked about when he was a child in Panama with that kind of society with a small town.
Yeah.
It remembered my grandparents when they told me about when they were young, when in the 1940s, there were small communities and everybody knew each other. I can remember my grandmother tell me, you know that girl who is the nephew of the sister of the father? I was like, no, I don't know her. I don't know.
I loved hearing what he has learned from his grandma and mother and father.
Don't show and brag. Don't talk too much about yourself.
Yeah. And share always.
You made us crack up too when he said, how did I keep myself from being a shithead when I was a kid?
Yeah, I liked what he said, that you need to write about what you know and not what you think about. And it goes a long way within life.
I also liked write about the reflection of life.
Another interesting one that I thought for him applied to songwriting, but I think applies to a lot of things that we can do and that we can put out, is don't create things with an expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To really find something that has longevity. And I think that works in a lot of different areas, not just in songwriting, but a lot of the arts, and even in the job that you do.
That's also what I do. I chose for something that's I really love, but that I can also do in a long run and that can provide money. And like dancing and all the other stuff that I like to do, it's something that I can do as a hobby.
Yeah, I recognize that a lot. I mean, I've always wanted to be a doctor, but I'm a creative in a white coat, really. Like creativity is my language.
My job is I deal with number and statistics, so it's kind of static. My body and my soul needs something creative to do.
Yeah, when they were talking about Renaissance person, and the Spanish word that they used for it, polifacético, which is the same, I guess, in English as multifaceted. I like that one a lot because it's really, you're a gemstone and you have all these different parts of yourself. Depending on how you look at it and depending on where the light is, you're going to see differently, and people might see the light in different parts of you.
You are not only one thing.
Yeah.
I'm like that because, for example, okay, my job is one thing. I love singing, I love cooking, I love going to horse riding, and other thousand things, because I need to do different things to be alive, to feel alive.
Yeah, it's like all the different ingredients they were talking about in the end. Of course, they were talking about food. I also love that he said, like, we don't want someone to tell you what to do because they're going to tell you what they need you to do. I love how he just found something he believed in so strongly that made it work.
Yeah.
I really admire that in him.
I have two friends of mine and they had a contract with this major. They did good songs, but you could see that on stage they were not happy. They were not their self. When they ended the contract, you completely see the difference. They are so happy. They told me that they never go back to that kind of fame and that kind of life, because there is not their life. In that moment, you have to decide what you want to do. If you want to be a product or if you want to be yourself.
Yeah.
And
You want to be a chewing gum?
Yeah.
A chewing gum or something that lasts.
Yeah. With the garlic and the salad and the wine and the
Yeah, really.
I'd rather see authenticity than product.
Yeah. If you're really doing it to produce, and if you're doing it for the numbers, it's a whole different story, because that ultimately means attention is deflected from quality and from authenticity and from all that.
He also said, my goal is not to be big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think if your goal is to be famous, you're on a completely different path. If your goal is to be real,
Yeah.
and then you end up famous, it's a side effect. Like you said, it's a place you can visit. It's not a place that you live in.
Yeah.
One thing that I thought was a really strong statement that he made was, I believed in my heart that the people would appreciate it because I was part of the people. And that said so much within one sentence about him.
Yeah.
And about his work. I thought that was really amazing. And something that inspires me, because a lot of people, when they make art, they are so concerned with what people will think of it and how they will be perceived and how it will be interpreted. But if you really find what is true to you and you're able to project that, people can't disagree with that. It can be a matter of taste, obviously, but they can't disagree with it. And that keeps you part of the people too, if it's still you in there.
And also you can reach people in a different way if you put yourself, for example, in music. Okay, if you put your emotions, your truths, the things you really know, as he said, it's different the way you reach people, the way you emotionate people.
It really depends on the eyes that see it too, I think.
Yes, and especially when fans can't divide what they do from what they are.
Especially with social media, where you only see the glimpse that's in the public eye and people know you.
Like Ruben talked about in the beginning, they know your name, but nothing more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing that I love what he said is, let love move you forward.
Yeah.
He was talking about amor y control, because I think depending on where you are in your life, what you've been through in your life, like Danay was saying, which season you're hearing it, you might pick up different things from the song. But we all relate to having a hard time and having to regain control over certain aspects of your life, sort of regain, your hands on the steering wheel so that you can move forward. And the fact that he said, let love move you forward, I thought was beautiful, because it does, doesn't it?
When I think about my organization and what I should share, sometimes I'm like, should I share it? But what if someone is out there going through the same stuff? But also make it positive so that they know that they can be helped and that it will be better.
That they know there is a path alongside theirs.
Yeah.
It's so valuable to have a support system of some kind, whether it's your parents or a good group of friends or La Familia, people that you can trust and that know you and that support you in the new things that you're trying, because they're, trying something new often comes with a certain, nervousness and discomfort because it's new and you don't know how to do it quite yet. And so to have a support system is so crucial.
It's like you said, the best investment he has done is friendship and friends.
Yes.
And it goes to La Familia.
I love watching it with you guys.
Me too, I miss this. Bye.
Bye.